What's going on for you? How could I help?
So one, thank you for the meeting. I got two things for you, and maybe they relate. So graduated in May, thought I could have the summer to LSAT prep thoroughly and everything. Obviously the pandemic happened, and I was fortunate enough to get a job right before undergrad. Well, I'm taking like one more summer class, but no, that's about it. But essentially LSAT prep has been difficult, working full time, working remotely. It's a cool job too, working with lawyers. And I wanted to know, I'm really struggling with logic games, or that's where I've done other previous, LSAT prep, and logic games is where I never really, picked up steam. So I'm enrolled in your course. I've probably done it sporadically, probably do it and then not do it. And I was wondering if you could like customize some sort of LSAT daily schedule for me, where it incorporates, your lessons as well as, reading comp and logical reasoning, which I have studied before, probably months since I've studied those. So even that I need to probably relearn or, touch up on. So that's the first thing, like, see, I don't mind, paying, or I don't know if that's in your services or abilities, but I just feel like that's what I need. The second part is now I'm thinking of like how, like, is my job worth it? It's only temporary, so it might end like in August, like beginning of August or whatnot. So I have like 1 month left, maybe, or it might get extended. But now I'm like, should I LSAT prep, or should I, keep this job? Which again, with the pandemic, it's just hard to say no to money, So yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Sure. Those are both good questions. I'll address the second one first. That's the one that's honestly more interesting to me, because if you can set up your life such that you're able to devote the appropriate time to the LSAT, then the sky's the limit. Obviously, in a perfect world, nobody would need money. There wouldn't even be an LSAT either. We just lay out on the beach all day. But if we have to at least have the LSAT and you have to have a job, you've either got to find a way to make a balance with them, or maybe minimize your work obligations to the extent possible. And whether you need money in the short term or not, whether you need a job in the short term or not, I can't answer that for you. That's based on your own personal financial situation and what your lifestyle is like and what you need. I'm not going to tell you don't take the job if you need it, but I will suggest that you try to find a job that allows you maximum time to study, where they understand your LSAT situation, or maybe they don't need to know about the LSAT, but at least you have enough hours in the day that you can devote at least LSAT prep as a part-time job.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fair.
What job are you considering? Would this job have a lot of obligations?
I feel like they could potentially be flexible. It's a lot of work, I feel like, even though it's hourly. But I think if I do, she's an attorney from, Berkeley Law, so I feel like she should understand maybe, if I want reduced hours or something along those lines. So yeah.
I certainly hope so. So, I mean, you could try it, see how it goes. If it's not what you need, maybe look for another job in the meantime and try to jump ship to somewhere where that is more understanding and is more flexible for what you need.
Right. Okay. What about like the study schedule? Is that something you do, or why not like customized, personalized study schedules?
I only personalize study plans specifically for my one-on-one students who are invested in full coaching programs with me, because it's something that requires ongoing engagement. The schedule that I sell to the public, the schedule I give to students in my courses, those are my general recommendations. And so if you need help in all areas, well, those are my recommendations specifically for what to do in all areas if we're not working together closely. But overall, my schedules are more important for the level of specificity about what to do than the particular day-by-day breakdown. And they're giving it to everything from A to Z, all game types, all reasoning, all reading comp, in the exact order in which I recommend it. And you mentioned you want help with games, but you also want to work on reading comp and reasoning. Well, then my general schedule is still what I would recommend. I don't really have any particular modifications for you without knowing a whole lot more then I could even get in one conversation. That would be an ongoing conversation.
Right. Okay. So my question then would be, how much of in your study schedules, is the assumption that you already know most of these things, or is the assumption that like, are they like working on logic games? Like like how much of it is learning new concepts and how much of it is just like applying and working on them?
So I'm assuming going in that you know nothing. I'm assuming square one,
Okay.
learning the basics in each of the areas.
Okay. All right. That helps. That helps a lot. Okay. Then it seems like I will buy your very, very affordable study schedule. Yeah, so that was just my primary question. I don't know why. I guess I got confused reading some of the reviews or something. Maybe I felt like people maybe already had like a understanding, or maybe I read like the retake study schedule. Maybe that's where I got confused. But yeah, okay, understanding, knowing now that it's like meant for people who have like no previous LSAT experience, that definitely helps.
Correct.
And then,
yeah. And since you mentioned the retake schedule, I just want to share one thing about that, which is that the retake schedule is meant for those who have already used one of my regular plans and happen to be retaking. They want to do even better, and they want to focus on particular weak areas, along with mixing in full-length timed exams. The retake schedule gives my recommendations for that. But if you're retaking, or if you've used another program before, I'd suggest getting one of my regular plans, because they still give you my recommendations on how to use my resources along with the actual exams. And by the way, when I say my resources, I mean generally my free articles on the LSAT blog site. You don't have to buy anything other than the exams. And they'll lay out for you how to start from square one, how to use the articles on my site in conjunction with the actual LSAT prep tests.
Right. So I guess my last question, while I still have you, take advantage of my time, is let's say I stay with my job till the end of July. I have August. I want to say the next LSAT is in September or in October?
The next one after August is October 3rd.
October 3rd. So then I would have, August and September, essentially. What would be hypothetically like your game plan? Should I just wait? Should I go all in those 2 months, or should I wait even more until the November LSAT and, assuming I'm not working or anything like that, go all in for that one, or use the October and then November as a retake option?
It really depends on when you feel comfortable, when you think you have a decent shot at being ready. So if you look at your time between now, speaking in early July, through August 29th, if you think you'll be ready by then in the next month and a half or so, then go for that. If you have a decent shot of scoring where you want to score. Alternatively, if it gets closer and you feel like you're not there, then go for October and November instead.
Okay. All right. It seems like those are my questions for all. I'm probably going to go to your website right now and get one of those study schedule plans.
Awesome. Sure. And if you have any other questions as you move forward, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help.
Do you have any advice with the study schedule, or maybe mistakes or anything, like pointers, like how to use the study schedule?
The schedule gives all my general advice within it.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I would say is that, it's more important for the level of specificity it contains about what to do than the particular day-by-day breakdown. And so you can do 2 days worth of work in one, as long as you don't burn out. You can skip days and catch up later. I do build in off days. And so feel free to modify it to your individual needs. You don't have to follow it exactly to the letter. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.